everybody.
Howdy.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
It's been a nice vacation. We've missed everybody.
Yes.
But we've had a lot going on. And before we get into the latest Elders letter, Deep Throat was here visiting.
Yes.
It was great having you here,
Wonderful
sweetie.
time.
Had a
Wonderful time.
blast.
Nothing like sitting down and throwing back a few beers.
Yes. And tomahawk and
Yes.
sitting around
shooting
the campfire.
guns. And,
Yeah.
sitting around a campfire, shooting bows.
Yes.
And then just generally sitting around and cutting up.
Oh, yeah. That's always fun.
Yeah, just hacking on people.
I also want to thank Jamie, who sent me a nice package. Nice surprise. Thank you so much. This is so old, I'm almost afraid to touch it and open it. But many of you may never have seen it's Food for Thinking Christians, Why Evil Was Permitted. And this is a free supplement to Zion's Watchtower, 1881. And there's a whole bunch of stuff of Russell's original doctrines and stuff. Very interesting book. So thank you, Jamie, so much. Really appreciate it.
Nothing like old books, huh?
Oh, I know it. You know, and it just is so heartwarming because they could sell it on eBay or something for
Yes.
megabucks and they send it to me. So
Thank you.
it's very precious. You know, all the books that everyone sends us, you know, it means a lot because, you know, it helps us in our activism.
Yeah.
And so it's very heartwarming. My goodness. Look at what we've got.
I see that.
Now, this is from the Spain branch to the Bodies of Elders, October 3rd, 2016. I'm just going to read it. Dear brothers, in recent years we have heard of many cases of abuse of minors perpetrated even by ministers of various religious confessions. Consequently, the authorities are taking ever more strict precautions to assure the protection of minors.
Now, have you noticed they didn't throw themselves in that category, did they?
Oh, no.
How convenient, Watchtower, not to let your rank and file realize that you're on the hot seat too, idiots.
Recently, the Central Registry of Sexual Delinquents has been set up, which will include persons who have been convicted of offenses of abuse of minors. It's kind of like the sex registry, I would imagine, here in the United States. Relative to the creation of this registry, the law requires that all persons whose activity, whether professional or not, involves habitual contact with minors establish that they have no criminal record for abuse of minors. This can be done by obtaining certification from the Central Registry of Sexual Delinquents. In what ways might this affect our congregation activities? In contrast with other religious confessions, we have no religious instruction classes for children, nor are any activities organized exclusively for children, such as summer camp or similar. In fact, the Faithful and Discreet Slave recommends that parents be the ones who study weekly with their children, that they sit together with them at meetings, and they accompany them in their preaching work. Therefore, it is not necessary that the elders obtain favorable certification from the Central Registry of Sexual Delinquents to continue performing their duties in the congregation, which I think is horrible.
Well, yes it is. But here's the thing. They say right here, in contrast with other religious confessions, we have no religious instruction classes for children. Jehovah's Witnesses, this is why the Watchtower and Babel Crap Society got rid of the Theocratic Ministry School. Think about what I'm saying. You used to have, on Thursday nights, or whatever night of the week, you had your Theocratic Ministry School. They had to get rid of it so that your elders, who are teachers and who were habitually around children, didn't have to have background checks. So when Watchtower says, oh, we have a new arrangement, what a blessing from Jehovah, now we're going to call it the Christian Ministry and Life and whatever bullshit that they're feeding you with, this is why they got rid of the Theocratic Ministry School. Now you know why. It isn't a blessing from Jehovah's because these guys are covering their asses now.
Well, they're trying to find loopholes of
That's
why they don't
exactly
have to
what
do
they're
this.
doing. That's exactly what they're doing.
Because I can just imagine that not every elder is going to be able to pass the certification.
Exactly. Exactly right.
Maybe not even half.
Yeah.
That's my humble personal opinion.
Well, that's my opinion, and I'm not humble about it at all.
Back to the letter. Notwithstanding the foregoing, situations may arise in which an elder or another brother or sister assigned by the elders may have frequent contact with a minor. I thought they just said they didn't. For example, an adult may conduct a Bible study with a minor that is not a son or daughter, or they may preach together regularly or with frequency. In view of the increasing sensitivity of this matter, it would be appropriate for the elders to take some precautionary steps in such situations. If an elder conducts a Bible study with a minor, or counsel must be given, or a personal problem treated with a minor, this should be done in plain sight of other persons, or the elder should be accompanied by another adult, preferably one of the parents. If there are other brothers that for theocratic reasons have frequent contact with minors that are not family members, please suggest that they follow this policy. On the other hand, although the law in Spain considers that one not yet 18 years old is a minor, these preventive measures could possibly not be required in the case of those mature minors approaching legal age. Being guided by the above recommendations will avoid unfounded accusations and will protect the reputation of our organization.
What? Read that again, dear?
Yeah, you heard it right. They have been saying up till now, won't bring reproach on Jehovah.
Right. We don't want to bring reproach on Jehovah, but now it's the organization.
Being guided by the above recommendations will avoid unfounded accusations and will protect the reputation of our organization.
What about the reputation of your God, Jehovah? Why isn't he factoring into this letter at all? No, it's protect the organization, and that's the mindset of the cult manipulation that calls itself the only true religion on earth. Jehovah's Witnesses. They care nothing. They care nothing, Jehovah's Witnesses, the rank and file, about this image that they want to project upon you that you are in the only true religion and God's blessing you. No, it's the reputation of the organization that they care most about. And it's right there in black and white. Oh, we're going to change things here, or did you want to do that first?
We got just a few little
why don't you do that first,
tidbits,
because I've got something interesting here.
Yeah. 1974 yearbook, page 110. They're talking about the Berlin Convention on June 25th, 1933. And they go on there talking about it. Now, when you go over to page 111, let's see, the third paragraph down. The conventioners returned home tired, and many were disappointed. They took 2.1 million copies of the Declaration home with them. Now, this was the Declaration against Germany, in case those of you who don't remember. And they made fast work of distributing them and sending them to numerous persons in positions of responsibility. The copy sent to Hitler was accompanied by a letter that in part read, "The Brooklyn presidency of the Watchtower Society is and always has been exceedingly friendly to Germany." And they deny that now. Yeah.
I know. For those apologists, I really hope you're paying attention.
In 1918, the president of the society and 7 members of the board of directors in America were sentenced to 80 years imprisonment for the reason that the president refused to let 2 magazines in America, which he edited, be used in war propaganda against Germany. Even though the Declaration had been weakened and many of the brothers could not wholeheartedly agree to its adoption, interesting,
yeah,
Yet the government was enraged and started a wave of persecution against those who had distributed. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I have read, Rutherford and those, 7 brothers' court testimony and stuff. I always thought and read that it was because of this book, The Finished Mystery,
Right.
Volume 7 of Studies in the Scriptures, that they were accused of sedition against the government. So now it's saying that because they
yearbook.
refused to use, war propaganda in their
Right.
magazines, who's
Yeah.
telling the truth?
Exactly.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Well, as most of us have already heard, the Watchtower Bible Tract Society released a new songbook, and it no longer, carry the front and back pages.
Well, I was going to say, we actually did a video
Yes, we did.
earlier this year
Yes, we did.
announcing that they were going to be redoing the songbook
And getting rid of
give
the
the
covers.
same gray cover that's on their
Right.
new Bible.
Exactly.
So we've known this for a while.
We've known this for a while. But we find it interesting, thanks to the friends that caught this and send it to us. Song number 58. Let's see. Well, actually, this is large print, so it'll be song number 50. 58 in the large print book, number 50 in the new one. There's the second stanza here. In the old songbook says, "Take my voice and let it sing, praise always to my King." Now Watchtower has changed it and said, "Take my silver and my gold, nothing, Lord, would I withhold." So obviously they've changed the words to imply or to,
Push donations?
Push donations. And all I want to say, Jehovah's Witnesses, is that when you sing that verse, "Take my silver and my gold, nothing, Lord, would I withhold," just make damn sure you read it with a little extra love. Because, see, that's cult speech. Every time you sing this, sing it with the love that is cult speech. Make sure you're captivated. Make sure you're continuously tricked with cult speech, Jehovah's Witnesses, so that you'll just welcome the opportunity to, advance, Watchtower's printing of their publications and their books. Just keep in mind, Jehovah's Witnesses, that those words that make you give up your money is nothing but cult indoctrination. That's all it is. Nothing more. Nothing less. Figure it out. It's not that hard. Now, Watchtower,
Knuckleheads.
pay attention, boys. Of all the people on the earth that should be very familiar with this, I know for a fact that you guys are one. I'm going to talk a little bit about Nebuchadnezzar. In fact, in one of your Watchtowers and in your literature, you talk about Nebuchadnezzar quite a bit, in that big dream about the trees and all that other stuff that you guys want to talk about. I find it interesting that history does not deny the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, who he was. History does not deny the fact that he conquered Jerusalem, destroyed Jerusalem in 587, 586 BCE. History does not deny that he took off captives from Israel, Jerusalem, and made them become his servants. In fact, Daniel was renamed Belshazzar. History does not deny these facts. But it's interesting that when you really look at King Nebuchadnezzar, there's something about King Nebuchadnezzar that history very, very seldom talk about. Jehovah's Witnesses, and in you in particular, governing body, go read the 4th chapter of Daniel. I'm going to read the first few verses from my 1901 King James. Nebuchadnezzar, the king unto all people, nation, and languages that dwelt in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I thought it good to shew the signs and wonders that the high God hath wrought toward me. How great are his signs, and how mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in mine house and flourishing in my palace. I saw a dream which made me afraid. Do you understand, Jehovah's Witnesses? This King Nebuchadnezzar, he wrote the 4th chapter of Daniel. Now, all you people, all you Jehovah's Witnesses say that the Bible is inspired of God. These are God's words. He inspired these men to write portions of the Bible. Then why did God inspire Nebuchadnezzar to write the 4th chapter of Daniel? You know why? Because God, you know the storyline. You know how the story goes. God had to humble him, didn't he? Remember, he had to eat grass like the wild beast. He was humbled by the God of the heavens because of his attitude that he thought he was the only true king in the earth. You know, sort of like Watchtower claims they're the only true religion on earth. Watchtower, really? Really? Christ came to the earth to die for all mankind, not just those that carry the cult name Jehovah's Witnesses. But you know, verse 37, Jehovah's Witnesses, all you got to do is read the chapter and you'll know conclusively that King Nebuchadnezzar wrote it. Verse 37, now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, all whose works are truth, in his ways judgment. And those that walk in pride, he is able to abase. Now, I find it interesting that at that time in history, Nebuchadnezzar was the king of the world. The world power was Babylon. And this man had to humble himself. He learned humility. He was forced to admit that the God of heaven was greater than he is. That still holds true today, doesn't it, Kim? I mean, I'm right about that, aren't I, Jehovah's Witnesses? Aren't I right about that? That man was humbled by God, and he had to acknowledge that he wasn't as great as he thought he was. Watchtower, there's a very profound lesson in the 4th chapter of Daniel that goes way beyond that tree dream. You people need to read it and figure it out.
Well, I was going to say, we've got the chart of their tree dream, you know, from last year, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And right there in the middle, it
There it
shows
is.
him eating grass, and it says seven literal years.
Yeah.
You know, he was insane. And then it shows him raising his hands to heaven.
Yeah.
And
you know,
praising
the
God.
thing is for every one of us ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, in a very real, in a very real way, have not we been humbled? And have we not been forced to admit that this organization is not God's organization?
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
very traumatic. You know, our whole foundation
Absolutely.
is pulled out from under us.
Almost like we were forced to eat grass like the wild beast.
Yeah.
But yet, after the discipline, have we not been raised up? Absolutely. Watchtower, you really, really need to start paying attention to what you're teaching. because the God of heaven will humiliate you and humble you, just like he did the king Nebuchadnezzar.
Yep, exactly. So that it?
That's it.
Thank you so much, everybody. And like I said, we missed you and ready to get back to work.
Oh yeah, we've got some more. We've been working on a few things that, well, we'll let you know when we're done.
Yes, yes. So take care, everybody, and have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.